When starting this review, I was a little bit confused about in which category does this electric skateboard fall into it. But then I realized it doesn't fall into one, it falls into three categories. Let's start with the more obvious one, budget. So this is indeed a budget board. It only costs somewhere around $300. It depending on when are you buying this. For example, in Black Friday, like it's coming very soon, it's gonna be a lot more affordable. But yeah, you get the idea. It is very affordable. It is by far X-Way most affordable electric skateboard ever by a long shot. And as a matter of fact, I believe this is the most affordable electric skateboard by any big company. Keep in mind that X-Way is one of the biggest e-skate companies in the world. For some, it's probably the best, and they tend to do premium electric skateboards. So how come they're doing such a cheap electric skateboard? Well, that's what I'm trying to figure it out here. Budget equals cheap? Well, not in this case. First, the unboxing was actually pretty good. This is kind of unboxing experience you will get with some other X-Way electric skateboards or with some other electric skateboard from any other company. That being out of the way, as soon as we see this electric skateboard, we see that the deck looks actually really premium. I would say it looks even better than some of the more expensive brothers from X-Way, and that's because this deck is pretty much a clone of the loaded Omasake. So that's a company that makes ultra premium decks. So probably the deck on its own costs somewhere like $200-300 if it's actually a loaded, which I believe it is, even so they did not disclaim it on X-Way website. But yeah, very premium. On top of that, it looks very beautiful. It's not just exactly a loaded Omasake, but they give it their own style. They did change some graphics here and there. Now, how about the tracks? Are there some cheap tracks? Well, not really. These are X-Way 3's CNC engineered tracks. It's the same tracks you get on X-Way Wave and X-Way Flex, and if I'm not mistaken, also the X-Way X1 Max, and even if you go way back in time to the X-Way X1 Pro. So these are premium tracks. They're top of the line tracks on a $300 board, so very impressive. Even the bushings are the same bushings you'll get in something like the X-Way Flex. Now, how about the battery casing? Well, as a matter of fact, this is probably the best battery casing in recent times because it has lights, and the lights are not just simple lights that just light up. They literally move according to the speed of the board. Let me see if I can show you this real quick. So I have here the remote, and now we go. You can see the light starting, and then I have it on first gear. Hold on. Okay, I have it on high now. You see as it's going faster, the light fills up. Now this is really nice. You also have brake lights. You can see the brake lights also from the side. Look at that. So this is really nice and very premium. Not any other electric skateboard, even that costs twice as much, does have these kind of features. On top of that, the battery inside, it is a 99 watt-hour battery. Okay, it's very small, but keep in mind that on a board this light, this is 5.9 kilograms if I'm not mistaken. If you ride a little bit conservative with the 75mm wheels that are much smaller, well, that can give you a very decent range. And if you take a few screws, you just remove the battery and you can take this board on an airplane. So how about the remote, you may be asking? Well, we do have an LCD screen, which for boards priced at $300 or below, it is very unusual. The only one thing that I can complain about this remote is that this micro USB, this is like really old tech, and I basically no longer use these kind of connections anymore. I would rather have a Type-C or I don't know, just Type-C. This is like what every other tech is using at the moment. So yeah, that's not cool. But anyway, this is small, portable. The battery lasts quite a while. Yeah, we have a very informative LCD display. Another thing that is more common amongst some of the budget boards is hub motors. So this board have hub motors, but considering the price and size of the board, that makes a lot of sense. The wheels are 75mm, which are pretty small, and yeah, because we have small motors, that's okay. So it's not a very powerful board, but it will get you around no problem. They have also included their brake pad, and this is translucent, so when you brake, the braking light reflects into this, and yeah, it's more easy for riders behind you to see you. The reason I have it on my hand and not on the board is because I replaced it with this. Now that is pretty cool because you can get fire out of the tail of your board every time you brake by stepping on the tail. Now that is something that really got people's attention while riding. The second category that nobody even mentioned in any video ever is that this is actually a cruiser board, basically like a traditional skateboard where you can do tricks. Believe me, even so I haven't done tricks in many years, I can try, and everything that I try on this board is just easy. The sliding is really easy, I can do 180s, 360, I can do some ollies every now and then, but yeah, it is a little bit heavy, it doesn't take off the ground by much, but even so, yeah, I'm a little bit old by now and I haven't practiced in many years. I contacted one of my friends that she's actually very good at this, and I let her have a go. So needless to say, my friend Luna, she loved the X-Ray Ripple and she did have a lot of fun riding it. She was like, she couldn't believe it, that something that can be used as a mode of transportation can also be so much fun. And that takes me to the third and last category, last mile commuting. So that's what most reviewers on YouTube and Instagram have been talking about this sport. This is a last mile sort of transportation because it's very small and lightweight. I believe it's one of the lightest electric skateboards you can buy now from a big company. This is 5.9 kilograms. So you can see I can handle it very easily. Yeah, so 99 watts battery. What can that get me? So I'm somewhere around 220 pounds. My height is 5'10", so I'm a relatively large dude, and I can still get somewhere around 9 kilometers out of this, which is pretty decent. That is riding very hard, and when I say riding very hard, it's because I tend to top the speed all the time, and that's because the top speed is somewhere around 28 kilometers per hour. So I think they claim 30 kilometers, and sometimes I do get 30, but most of the time it's just 28, 29. That's pretty decent for such a small board with a small battery, and with all the things that I mentioned before. The acceleration and braking is actually pretty good, and the one thing that I need to mention is that this is a Lean E ESC, so it doesn't have motor detection. So when you turn on the remote, you still have to spin the wheels really fast, just like this. So you start the board, or you can also start the board by pushing the button there. Now, talking about the button, we can see that we also have a battery indicator here, and you can charge it right there. Now the charger that came with this board is very small, very lightweight, but it takes a while to charge. Considering that it's a small battery, if you wanna ride for long periods of time, you might need to carry the charger. But what I would recommend is the new Canon charger that can charge this board from 0 to 100 in less than an hour. And if, for example, you've been riding for a while, taking a little break where the battery is at 20-30%, you charge it for like, I don't know, 30 minutes, and you bring the battery up to like 80-90%. So yeah, very convenient, even if you want to ride for long periods of time. By the way, the new charger is an extra purchase that you need to make, but it looks really nice and is compatible with other boards like the X-Wave Wave. So in conclusion, who is this board for? definitely for me, I love it. I've been having so much fun, and I also been exercising, because usually electric skateboards, you don't get to do much fitness on it. You just stand on it and go. But with this one, I've been trying to do ollies, sliding, all kind of tricks that I do, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It rejuvenated me. I feel younger while riding this board. Another thing that is very good is carving, because you have premium tracks, but then you have this kicktail, and you can see here the nose. You can place your foot there, and it feels really good while carving. So it is just so much fun. And yet, it is a board that you can just throw on the back of the car very easily, take it with you anywhere, even take it on an airplane. So this comes very highly recommended. I'll make sure to include a discount if that is possible. I will highly appreciate it if you can buy from my affiliate links, so you can help grow this channel. My name is Gaby, you've been watching Race Studios, and this is it. Adiós amigos.